What if I told you that quitting just 5 really easy things would help you to forget that summer is over and really embrace the onset of autumn, really give you joy in the season and give you an amazing boost to your well-being? Hi, I'm Lynn. Welcome back to my channel. Autumn's such a beautiful time of year, the crisp air, the changing leaves, the cosy sweaters. But if you're anything like me, it can be easy to get caught up in the dread of shorter, colder days. There's this narrative that autumn marks the start of something dreary. The days get darker, the temperatures drop, and suddenly we're all longing for the sunny freedom of summer. But here's the thing, that mindset, it's just a story we tell ourselves, and it's a story that keeps us from fully embracing the magic of this season. What if we flip that narrative? Instead of thinking about what we're losing as summer ends, let's think about what we're gaining. In this video, I'm looking at 5 things I've quit to help with exactly that. 5 very easy things we can all do to help us flip things around. Instead of all the regret that summer's done and dread of what we're heading into, quitting just these things will get us looking forward with excitement and joy for the new season ahead. So, what's the first thing that I am quitting? Well, number one on my list is to quit resisting change. You know, you hear it all around you at this time of year, don't you? People saying, oh, the darker nights are coming in. Oh, the weather's getting much colder. Oh, it's going to be so dreary. Oh, I wish it was still summer. And the problem with that mindset is that it really doesn't do us any good. Change in life is inevitable. And if you were to be asked, what's one thing that you can be absolutely 100% sure of, the changing of the seasons would probably be up there, wouldn't it? We know with absolute certainty that summer is going to come to an end and autumn is going to roll around. And when we resist change in life, it creates that internal tug of war, and that then creates stress within us, and that can really have a big impact on your mental health. So resisting change just doesn't do us any good at all. What if we were to try and change that mindset? What if we were to try and lean into the change instead of trying to resist it? And I just really think that it's time to quit resisting the change, lean into everything that's good about autumn, and really, really try to embrace its onset at this time of year. So, how do we go about embracing that change? Well, I would definitely start with having a think, even write a list of all the things that you are gaining moving into the autumn season, rather than letting your brain go to all the things that you are losing. For a lot of people who live in very, very warm climates, where it gets really, really hot in the summer, you probably are really looking forward to cooler days. Certainly here in Scotland, we don't get the best of weather, although it's beautiful at the moment. We're having some really lovely September weather. But, there is definitely that fear of the colder, darker days, coming on. But what does that give us? Well, it gives us the opportunity to have some really cozy nights in. You can get the candles lit, you can, curl up with a good book. All of those things. Maybe there's some events in your town that you might look forward to, like a harvest festival, or taking your kids, grandkids, to go and get pumpkins. All of that. So have a think about what you're gaining rather than what you're losing, to really help you lean into that change and really look forward to this new season ahead. Number 2, I am quitting feeling guilt around rest and downtime. When autumn comes around, you probably have this sort of natural urge to slow down a little bit, to kind of rest up. Maybe it is the shorter days, the longer, darker nights, but there's definitely a kind of natural inclination to conserve a bit of energy. And somehow, as a society, we have got to the point where that just induces guilt. We're kind of, we're not allowed to rest up. We've got to be productive all the time. We've got to get so much done. that seems to all equate now with being successful and, being worthy. You're not worthy unless you're rushing around, cramming your days full of a million things. Now, I'm certainly not advocating, just sitting on the couch all day, with a bowl of whatever, watching Netflix. No, no, no. I'm just talking about quality rest and relaxation, making time for yourself, allowing yourself to, get that rest in. And what I'm quitting is the guilt around it, because we really, really do need rest and relaxation. And it is the natural inclination as we move into the autumn months. So that's number 2 on my list. I'm going to quit feeling guilty about it. I think what we've got to quit in all this is the idea that rest is somehow lazy, that resting, makes you lazy. It doesn't. It makes you productive. It, restores your energy, it sharpens your focus, and it rejuvenates you. It gives you what you need to get everything done. You'll be way more productive if you can get your rest time in. And when you quit the guilt around it, then it just makes it, makes you more able to enjoy all those activities, whether it's watching your favourite TV show, whether it's flicking through a magazine for 20 minutes, whether it's sitting down and doing a jigsaw puzzle, whatever it might be, it just allows you to enjoy it. And what I also realised in all of this is that this is the time to rest up now. Get the rest in these next few weeks and couple of months, because inevitably when we get further through autumn and all the pre-Christmas craziness starts, it is really hard to rest during that time. So by allowing yourself to rest now guilt-free, then you're really investing in your future self. You're setting yourself up for a much better run up to Christmas, because you'll have all the energy to do that and get yourself through the crazy season. So definitely quitting the guilt around rest. So number 3 on my list of things that I quit to help me fully embrace the season and really boost my well-being is that I quit the urge to hibernate. At this time of year, it can be really tempting, just to say no to everything. I get it, when it's cold outside and once you're in for the night, it's really tempting just to stay there and, not bother going out again and say no to all the invitations to go out and meet friends, or, maybe somebody suggests going to the cinema, or they suggest going out and doing a night class or something, and you just think, no, once I'm in and I'm all cozy and I'm in my jammies at 6 o'clock or whatever, I don't want to go back out again. But it is really risky to say no to everything, because social connections are so important for our mental well-being. And the risk is that you just spend the entire autumn season and then into winter just in your house, not doing anything, not going out and seeing anybody. So I think you really have to, quit that urge to completely hibernate. But at the same time, you don't want to find yourself in a situation where you feel the need to say yes to everything and you kind of end up overwhelmed by it all. So where's the balance in all of this? Studies have definitely shown that social connections has one of the biggest impacts on our mental health, our general well-being. We absolutely need social connection, to boost our well-being and to have a positive impact on our mental health. So it's not something that we can really do without. I think it's about asking yourself some questions when you maybe get an invitation, asking yourself things like, are these people that I really do love and want to be around? How much will it matter if I'm there or not? Clearly if a close friend asks you to go and attend an event with them, or maybe go out to the theatre with them or something like that, it's going to make a big difference if, whether you say yes or no. Whereas if you get an invitation to a big party where there's loads of people, where really your attendance is not going to impact that event one way or another, that's probably an easier no than, saying no to a really good friend who genuinely wants you to come along and attend something with them. So ask yourself these questions. The other thing to ask yourself maybe is, some of the practical questions. How easy is it going to be for me to get to that place? And how easy is it maybe going to be for me to get home again? These kind of things, and try and give yourself a bit of balance in there. And don't forget that it's not just about, answering invitations that come into you. Have a look at your calendar. If you're going for a couple of weeks, say, with nothing in there, no real connections, then maybe you could reach out to somebody else and get something in the diary, organize something. Maybe it's better for you to put those things in your diary during the day. If you're, retired and you don't have work in there, then maybe having, a meet up with a friend during the day in these kind of darker months is better for you. But you definitely need to pepper your calendar with social connections. So yeah, it is about finding balance, but yeah, just do what you can to try and get that balance in there. And number 4 on my list, I quit, and I'm pledging it here and now, I quit all the unhealthy habits this autumn. And by unhealthy habits, I'm really talking about being sedentary and all the unhealthy comfort foods. Nothing wrong with them occasionally, but not in the quantities that I usually indulge in them at this time of year. So flipping back to being sedentary, I know we talked about, it really being important to rest, but rest and a sedentary lifestyle are two entirely different things. Yes, we need rest. That's really important, but we have to get moving. And, the urge is just to do nothing, isn't it? The urge is just to look outside at this time of year and think, oh, the weather's awful, I'm not going out for a walk. But there's so many other things that you can do. So I am pledging here and now that I am quitting a sedentary lifestyle this autumn. If I say it often enough, then I need to do it. I need to follow through with it. I was doing a challenge in the summer. I was walking, half an hour every day in July, and then it kind of slipped in August. Halfway through September, I'm back on it again. We all need to move our bodies. It's just so important. And I know this, so why can I not, get going with it? But I'm quitting the sedentary lifestyle. I'm going to get moving, whether it is getting outside for a walk when the days are nicer and the weather allows it, whether it's getting my yoga classes booked in, whether it's just doing some stretching in the house. All of these things will just contribute to a healthier lifestyle. And the other thing that, of course, at this time of year, it's so easy to do is there's so many treats appearing in the shops just now, whether it's all the like Halloween chocolates or, recipes in magazines and things for all the comfort foods. But it really is the season for me of kind of soups and stews and they casseroles, and they can be really, really healthy. So I am quitting the sedentary lifestyle and all the foods that don't serve me well in this season. And number 5 on my list is that I am quitting ignoring, procrastinating over the events that I really love to do and that just never get around to doing in the autumn. How many times, if you're like me, how many times do you see something advertised, whether it's, on your Facebook feed or in a local paper or something, an event that you think, well, that would be really good. I'd really like to go to that. And then you just never get around to organising it or booking the tickets. Or you kind of think about a place that you love to visit at this time of year where there's gorgeous fall colours, maybe there's a beautiful walk or something like that, and you think that would be really nice, and then it just doesn't happen. And then 1 week rolls into the next, rolls into the next. Before you know it, autumn's done and you haven't done any of the things that you know that you love to do. So I'm pledging here and now, I am quitting that. And if you're on board, quit it with me. I am going to actively have a look at all the things that are on in my city, around my town, make a little list. You know, kids do this. They make a list of, their tick list for autumn, and it might be, picking pumpkins, or it might be, you know, for us, there's a big local firework display for Guy Fawkes Night, whatever it is. And they make their wish list and then they tick it off as they go through autumn. I'm going to do that this year. I am quitting not getting round to all of these things because it's time to stop thinking about them as extras and as, the nice to do's. The reality is that these are the things that fill us up. These are the things that give us joy in our life, and we just need to make time for them. The last thing on my list, and I hope you're on board with this too, is that we are going to quit procrastinating on these things and getting organized for them. And whether it's maybe a show that comes to your town that's in the theatre, it doesn't have to necessarily be a specifically kind of like autumn themed thing. But, going to the theatre in the autumn is a nice thing to do. And sometimes, shows will come and go, and then you're like, oh, I meant to get tickets for that and I never got around to it. So it stops here. I quit procrastinating over these things. I'm going to fill my calendar over the next few weeks and couple of months with the things that just bring me joy. Now, if you're looking for other ways to boost your well-being, you're definitely going to want to take a look at this video, which looks at exactly that.